Ji. Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to another episode of Ainy and Hajra Unscripted.
Absolutely. And we're talking about 2025. It's been a very fun year, I feel. I just have not enjoyed this year like I normally do my other years. It's just there's so much uncertainty, there's chaos around the world, and in the midst of all of it, trying to be okay, trying to be normal, booking those dinners and going for those lunches and doing things with your family. Sometimes, it just feels very heavy. Do you feel that?
Yeah, what is it? I mean, obviously we know world events that have been happening for a few years.
Yeah.
The world has the landscape, things have drastically changed in the last 2 years. But yeah, because we're both feeling this, and
Yeah.
I was actually saying this to you earlier as well, that every time it's weird, I have a lot of stuff that I've been going through. We had that episode with, I don't know if it has aired or is going to air, where I'm talking about different strategies, different therapies, EMDR, where to sort of deal with past traumas of mine, so that I'm not such a reactive person. But then through the therapies, I was realizing that it's not just stuff that's happened in the past, it's things that are happening right now. Every time I turn on my phone, even just to check a simple text message or do some admin, but you get this news alert or something, about something horrible or crazy, insane that is happening in the world, and that's triggering. And how do you turn that off? I want to be informed, I want to hear the news, I want to know what's happening in the world, but then a lot of it is really scary. Is it because we're older, so we're appreciating it more? We have kids where we have a different kind of respect for this stuff. Like, what is it?
No, I think there's too much of it happening, and it just feels too close to home sometimes.
But it
right?
is literally,
It
things
is,
are close
and
to
then
home.
the uncertainty, especially like Iran and Israel and Pakistan and India and Gaza ongoing. It's just constantly you're feeling like, is it any time something's going to happen, and what do you do? Like, there's no bunkers here. There's nothing. There's no survival. We don't know what to do if God forbid something happens, and if it does.
I mean, I have family in the US, I have family in Pakistan, I know many, actually, I have family in Iran, I have family in all of these countries, and the way things are shaping up, you're sort of scared on a really primal level.
Yeah. I've not been able to be myself, I would put it this way, till now. And I hope the next half of 2025 is kind to everyone. It's not as turmoil and chaotic and unstable like it's been so far. I can't, I take so many flights, but now that I sit on a flight, I'm so anxious, Annie. Like, I sit down and I read duas before the flight, after the flight, while I'm on the flight, and हल्की सी turbulence होती है तो मेरी तो anyway before even anything happened, this whole chaotic crashes nonstop, I was anyway bad. But I think I've become worse. Slight turbulence and I feel like, oh my god, my palms start sweating. I feel like I'm sweating all over. I don't know what to do. And at times when the turbulence gets so bad, I'm like, isko gira hi do ab to.
Toba, toba.
Because it's just so bad, right? So I think like, what is going on? Well, they need to sort this out. It can't have. And again, when I talk to people, and especially Abbas says to me, turbulence is the least. It's the most safest thing. But for me, for someone, if you're trying to explain who's suffering anxiety, and just because I think I need therapy now.
Because
at this point, I feel I need therapy.
I have a whole potla, a whole khazana of therapists. I have people that I can recommend you talking therapy, EMDR. I have apps for meditation. I know places where you can do breath work or where you can do sound healing, crystal, whatever your jam is, Hajra. I have a list of people and recommendations. I haven't tried all of them. Some of them I have tried, so I can give you my own. So don't worry. Do you think that maybe some of the way you're feeling is to do with also, like you shared with me, some of your own health concerns that are happening this year? Do you
again,
think
so that's also heavy, right? So
that is very heavy.
Having a lot of that, a lot of uncertainty.
Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it all started. I had a little blood test, fun and games, whatever, just to check why it's not
fun and games. Blood tests are fun and games.
No, I'm very good on my health, and I would request everyone watching, especially girls and guys out there, be please on top of your health. We're South Asians. We come genetically with a lot of health issues like diabetes, cardiovascular,
Cholesterol.
and cholesterol as well. We need to know if you have any family history of anyone having any of those. You really need to be on top of your health, regardless of your age. You need to know. I just after these amazing COVID vaccination, not amazing, had a lot of acne, hair falling, and a lot of people will relate to that. A friend of mine suggested, why don't you get a blood test done? And after the blood test, see a doctor, and then he can see maybe your vitals like your B12, your ferritin, your vitamin D, and your iron levels might be off. So you might get prescribed supplements. I said, that's a great idea. Let me do that. I got my blood test done, took it to the doctor, and the doctor said, I don't know how you're even functioning because your iron level is very low. It's like mine, you're anemic. And then he explained to me, it's just a willpower, like a gene that keeps you going. But I said, but what's happening is things I would love doing, I can't do anymore. Like I get tired. I do my Pilates, but I can't do my walks anymore. I used to walk an hour, 45 minutes, something. I haven't walked at all. I can't walk because I have no energy. Anyway, he put me on great supplements and I was taking the supplements. The hair's growing back. It's fantastic. But then I wanted to take the results to my doctor in London because I got my blood test done in a different country, in Dubai. Took them here and he saw some other things. And meanwhile, I had my appointment booked with my doctor. I started having these stomach aches. Long story short, got examined with endometriosis, severe, again, sorted that out. Then had something that came up with my cardiovascular, which is a lipoprotein, which is very, very high.
Lipoprotein.
Very high. It's normally meant to be in your 70s. Mine's like shooting up to 295. So again, like all these tests, like you can see, I'm still bruised up. I've got all these cannulas and blood tests and blah, blah, blah going on, checking like what's wrong because you just don't take things seriously. And then, God forbid, something happens to you. And it's just because you never took it seriously. So I'm really on top of my health, getting it all tested, seeing, where it's going, what's going to happen. I've got a gene in my body. My dad's had a heart attack. He's had a bypass as well. And he's fine, alhamdulillah, all fit and everything. But it's just that it's there, right? So I can't. The rest of my siblings want to do it. It's up to them or not. But I guess it's all of that. So going through all the tests and doing the ECGs and CT scans and that. And, we're trying to film these podcast in between, and I've just been really annoying Ainy, saying sorry, I've got all these health checks back and forth, like I'm in the hospital maybe like after three appointments, one after the other, and I'm not in that phase.
You're not annoying.
I'm not in that phase.
If friends can't understand health issues, then what don't worry about it at all.
And she feels so sweet. I'll come to you and
I said I'll come with you for the
hold your hand
appointments.
on your appointments. I had my iron infusion going on because my iron was minus
Like,
9. And mujhe bhi late chalo. I said, nahi, we know Annie's busy and Annie's got priorities and he's got
but I think listen, if you need
I know.
to come, I think you sometimes maybe don't want the company because you just want to deal with it the way you want to deal with it, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm just
I think all of that has been a bit overwhelming for me.
Of course,
it's been a little like, what is going on?
Hajra, it's okay to sometimes just be vulnerable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't like to be.
No,
you know that, right?
No, I know, but I just have been, and it's just been.
Let yourself.
Yeah, it's just been one of those years. And then when you have so much going on in the world, when you're scrolling, I'm doing these 60-second videos. I'm watching, outfit changes, and then you're watching bomb blast. You're watching children's heads cut off. You're then watching trauma videos and so on.
Before you go there,
what's going on?
Let me just say
in this
something
world?
On the endometriosis. I also had endometriosis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've had it. It was one of the reasons that led to my low ovarian reserve. Endometriosis can really get in the way of fertility, of having children, if not properly managed and at the right time. It was a huge factor in conceiving, and the inability to conceive for a while. I've talked about it. I had 2 IVFs, they didn't work, and then Aiden came naturally after Umrah because I was relaxed and unstressed. But a lot of these things, one suggestion, while you have to go to all these doctors, you've got to do the test they're saying, also maybe find a natural path, like somebody who will prescribe you, not prescribe you necessarily, but tell you slight adjustments to do in diet, and little things like that, which can sometimes ease the symptoms and naturally, help your body just to
so I'm on a
nurture.
better path. It's I wouldn't say it's improving, it's a chronic illness. And I just feel for all these women out there who suffer with chronic illnesses and silently, and pain is internal and no one really knows. And you have to get on with your day, get on, put your makeup on, fix your hair, put clothes on, and you have to show up like there's nothing wrong. That's what I just, when I got diagnosed and when I realized, oh my God, this pain that I've always had is endometriosis. So I've just been, shrugging it, thinking like it's nothing, it's just my normal periods and so on. No, this was serious stuff. And it
Yeah.
just then made me realize of all these women and friends around us also who
And
suffer
men,
from
yeah.
this chronic illness and just get on with life. And when someone says, you sorry, my stomach is hurting, it's cramping, it's paining, you're like, oh, ye kha lo, chala jayega. It's not as easy as that. So just, relating to people, their problems, taking things very slow. And, certainly there's one thing that I've realized 2025 is um, certainty is a myth, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing is certain in life. Nothing is guaranteed in life. आज जो आपके पास है, enjoy it. कल, it's not important. It's not going to be there.
No, actually, I mean, that's exactly why people say live like every day is your last. And that doesn't mean you go crazy and, just start losing it and forget all about your responsibilities. But it does mean that every single day should be taken as an extremely valuable time. It should be taken as a gift from God.
Yeah.
Every single day. Don't waste those moments. Don't waste any day, because as you said, and I don't mean like in a doomsday way, ke bus today will, it might be your last day. I mean, you can't live with that fear or that anxiety either, but you should not waste any time in doing what you want to do. We're on earth for such a short amount of time, and just try to do it all, but also allow yourself to be vulnerable. One of the things that came out in my EMDR is because of a lot of the sort of abuse and the trauma. I was, have always been someone who's in a fight or flight sort of, like a mode, like agar thodi si bhi hamari kuch gich pich ho jaye, I'll suddenly spring into action as if I'm being, traumatized or something, or it's a huge, a horrible thing that's happened to me. And because of that, I've stopped being so vulnerable. I'm always like trying to be tough, or maybe I am a little bit tough, but I put on that persona that vulnerability equates with weakness, and it does not. Being vulnerable, showing your sensitive, vulnerable side, showing that you are somebody who can be hurt, who can be affected. Just being vulnerable doesn't mean that you're weak at all.
No.
It just means that you're a vulnerable human being. And I think both of us maybe struggle with that a little bit. We just think, acha, agar health issue hai, kuch hai, bhai, we need to just get on. You do need to get on too. I mean, you can't just piglify on the zameen and become completely useless, but you can ask for help. I think you also struggle with it a little bit.
I just don't ask. I don't like to ask for any help. I don't like favors at all. That's one.
I don't think asking friends is
no,
favor.
not at all. No. I mean, I listen. That's my friends, the ones
True
that
friends.
I see. I don't even see it as a favor.
Yeah,
like
it's not a favor, babe. But you
the
said favor.
friends that are on my
So wait a minute. When I offer, is it a favor?
No, that's what I'm saying. But it touches me. It's so meaningful to even ask. I'm saying it out there. This is my podcast with you, where I can even openly and say I have friends who didn't reach out and didn't really check on that much. So for me, it's so meaningful for the ones who did repeatedly check on and even saying ke hum aa jayein, can we come, and I wouldn't want that, because listen, I'm also a mom and I also know the duties and I know whatever, and what are they really going to do there while I'm going?
Give you company.
I know, but
and be there when you come out and you're scared. Hajra can't be scared.
There were points where I was thinking like, what is this going on? But then I have to say, I'm not a baby.
We'll watch
I
a
can
show.
do it.
We'll watch a show.
What?
While you're in that machine, we can watch our show that we
can watch it.
downloaded,
Hey,
and it's the best time to watch a show.
Does it hurt in there? How do you feel in there?
Make you laugh.
Yeah, make you laugh. No, I did entertain myself. It was fine. But I'm just saying, be there for people. Like people are really suffering in silence and they do not share. They sometimes don't reach out, and it's too late to reach out to people. So just be there for people. Check on your friends. Just don't wait for an event or something, and don't be like that egoistic friend that thinks that, oh, jab tak wo nahi karegi, main nahi karungi. Just please be around for people. That's very, very important in
Okay,
these times.
you wanted to talk about some of the things that have, either inspired us or maybe they've shook us, scared us, that have happened, this year. Or do you wanna go?
I think a lot of people, everything is shaking me right now.
Yeah.
Like the uncertainty of what's going on. I just feel like, just even getting up and doing normal things is just feeling a burden. Sometimes I feel very heavy. My body feels heavy. It feels tired. It doesn't feel up for it. Like there'll be plans that I don't want to go to because I just don't want to.
I think because you just said it, you're preoccupied with your
No,
own
but also
things.
what the world's
taking
going
space.
through, the war that's happening in everywhere. There's chaos. The conflicts that are happening in the world. The people are dying. Like even like I feel there's not even one single day where you can just breathe and think everyone was safe and fine. The Disneyland, that little girl that fell off the cruise and the father had to go and rescue her. So Swat mein, the 18-member people had the
I
family.
think 30. By the way, the number was 32. I
People
just
that had
checked.
gone.
That they died. Or
They
वो भी
died.
selfie ले रहे थे, right? They were taking a picture
And
and nobody helped. And then like where did we fail कि इतनी बड़ी group बारिशों मतलब flood वो drown हो गए, like
Yeah.
they drowned, and there were so many people around them. They weren't even in some sunsan or बच्चे भी.
I just don't
That is
understand
so
why does
depressing.
humanity keep failing on us? Like, who do we think is going to help us? I just, you sometimes feel what is going on. Like, it's so unpredicted, whatever's happening in this world. Allah only knows, but it's just what is happening.
Sana Yusuf का भी हुआ था.
And Sana Yusuf was shocking.
This new.
But it's not the first time something's
Stunning.
happened like that in
I think the
Pakistan.
only reason we talked about her was she was obviously on social media. She was this budding sort of TikTok with millions of followers.
Yeah.
Or did she get the millions after she, after this horrible thing happened with her? But obviously she was stunning. She was starting to build this huge following, and that's why we're talking about her. As you said, there's so many invisible Sana Yusufs that we don't get to talk about, that don't even see the day of light. Authorities को भी report नहीं करते, families भी नहीं report करती. We don't even know ऐसी चीजें, but like वो भी how like it shook us.
In your own house, someone walks in and does this to you. Like your house is meant to be your safer zone.
I mean, if you want me to talk about something, I can. And you know what? I find it a little bit cathartic sometimes, in a weird way. And I think this is important that because you're saying in your house,
yes,
which is meant to be a safe. But like Hajra, how can I tell you? How many times the most horrendous, heinous things that have happened to me have been in my house. They have not happened outside my house. Yes, one of the things that I talked about, I don't know if that episode is airing before or after, but it's already aired, the kidnapping story with a friend, and that was pretty scary.
Yes.
It was a 2.5-hour ordeal. We've all heard that. It's on the page. But the in your house Wali thing, I think that is actually one of the traumas that I'm dealing with. Not one of the traumas. It was ongoing. It's one of the things that I kind of wish that my caretakers and our family had just learned from one experience, from the second. And I'm not blaming anyone, like I have the most amazing, loving family. But the fact that these things happen in the house also kind of, so basically when I was, I think 5 to 6 years old, this is only one of the stories that I'm going to share in our house. Yeah, I'm a little girl and I was taken by a servant and I was 5 or so, because I think if I had been 7 or 8, I still would have been like mujhe nahi jana. So this guy, and he was probably the cook or khansama or something, because it was actually my grandparents' house, but that's also was our house and we were living with them, my dada dadi. And he took me to the servant quarter and he had given me like a lollipop or something, taki why would I follow him, and I was very young, 5. And I remember this like a horror film. And he took me to the servant quarter and he took off my lowers, and then he against me, and I knew that what he was doing was wrong, even as a 5-year-old. But because I was so young, I wasn't able to say this is not right, and I'm having my lollipop and he's rubbing himself against me, and and then he sort of
Oh my god.
and then and then he was, I guess, also scared. So I, put my clothes back on and he helped me put them back on, and I went back to the house. So he didn't sort of penetrate, so there was not that pain aspect, and maybe he thought, I don't know what his gross head was thinking, his perverted head, but he, was probably like, he didn't want me to scream or, like do that because, So, anyways, and I went back in, but I was, thank God, even in that horrendous moment, you think that that kind of thing happens to a young boy or girl anywhere, and they will be broken, or they, will like never speak about it or something. But thank God I had somehow the sense, the wisdom, even at 5, to go immediately and tell my mom. So this is why I want to share that even at that age, I went and said, Mama, my underwear is sticky, and this guy is kind of like just done something and I'm very sticky. And she, obviously, her reaction, you can imagine, it was a very typical mom's reaction. She immediately checked me, and then what happened was, in my little ears and eyes, what I saw and heard was a lot of hangama, a lot of screaming, shouting, ye jala denge, wo pata nahi, bahut zyada hangama. And obviously I never saw that man again. Not really sure about what happened, but I think the point of telling this story is that, God forbid, if this kind of thing has ever happened to you in your own home, because they say that a lot of these sort of sexual assault cases happen by the people closest to you, and this guy wasn't an uncle, he was staff, but in your own home, because that's the easiest access you have to kids. So the learning from this is, please always make sure that your young girls and boys, it's not about girl hair, boy hair, you have to make sure that somebody trustworthy and not a guy, I'm sorry, is watching, unless it's their own dad. Unke alawa, honestly, even like brothers ke dost, uncles, because I have many more stories, but I don't want to share. This was probably the most sort of horrific thing that happened with me. Other things have happened from uncles, from chachas, from saga grandfather's brother. I have been molested by God, and this has been in the house. The point of telling you guys is not to scare you, but the point is that if you normalize it, I think by talking about these things, first of all, you reduce the shame of the person that this happened to. They need to heal after that. They need to grow after that. They need to feel that they're not broken. Because when I was talking in EMDR, literally the therapist, I use the term broken. I was like, sometimes I just feel like I'm this broken child who, because so many things happen in the house, that I feel like, she's like, nobody is broken, Annie. Souls do not break. Spirits do not break. This term is completely wrong, and there's nothing broken. You can have a broken arm, you can have a broken shoulder, you can have that, but you as a person, you can never be broken. You're always whole. But there's a process.
There's a process.
There's
We've
a
gone through
process.
so much, and having to remember,
Yeah.
it's not something you're going to forget. It's always going to stay with you. It's somehow, it's scarred your brain somehow, even if it's not scarred you anywhere outside, but you're never going to get.
But if this, I think the public service, like the announcement of that for me is that if this has happened to you or anyone that you know, do not shy from talking about it, even if it's making the men in your life uncomfortable, whoever, talk about it, open up about it, make sure people are listening with their ears huge, and the perpetrators need to be brought to justice. Honestly, these people that have done this to me, they're dead. And the 2 family members that did this to me, they are dead. Otherwise, in my old, mature, healed state, I would have gone and told them off, or like confronted them, because that's also sometimes part of it. If they are people that are in your family or something, there is no need to protect people, or think this mindset कि अगर लड़की ने बता दिया कि उसके साथ ऐसे हुआ है, she's broken, or she's going to be shamed, or she won't be able to get married, or she won't be able to have friends or a career or whatever. Absolutely not. If this has happened to you, speak up, be fierce, be bold. And this is very, very, very important, because we are not the ones who need to feel any kind of shame. It's the people that are doing it and the people that are covering it up.
Listen, there are over 8 billion people in this world. And sometimes when we go through certain things, we think we're the only one going through it. It's not. There's so many out there who resonate and relate to what you have gone through, and how you cope with what you've gone through can help them also. Or if they've done it better, please share your stories, because it's very important to talk about these things. There's no shame involved in health issues or issues that, like, God forbid, your thing is just so scary every time you talk about it, even from the kidnapping to this. It makes you really think about, all the right and wrong about parents not leaving their kids with even helpers, with anybody. Just do not leave your child. But wo bhi nahi kar sakte. It's just a very hard topic to come around. But trusting people and they're abusing your trust and doing things to children, to young people, like scarring them. Why? Like, why do we live in this world that is constantly doing things that they think it's okay? It's okay to harm people. It's
I guess
not
it's
okay.
sick. Like there's this gene. I don't know. It's a mental illness, obviously. Well, that's what they say, that people that play with children, and even by to adults ke saath bhi, it's some kind of mental illness.
God knows what
Society
to
is
do.
sick.
What
I
to
don't, I
do?
don't
Yeah,
know.
chalti people are like hitting people, punching people, knocking them down, taking their things away. It's just
You also said around. I
sometimes.
mean, this was not supposed to be an episode of molestation in our grief stories, but you even did mention. By the way, this kind of stuff has happened. Like a guy just touching you from. It's happened in Singapore. It's
Yeah.
happened, and you were also saying like walking
Every
around.
time I remember going to Lahore in the Liberty Market as a young girl, they used to just rub your ass and walk away, and you're like, what just happened here? And these things are just happening to girls, and probably them thinking, "Ke acha galti se," and it's none of this is galti also.
और फिर लोग ये भी कहते हैं ना, तुम ऐसे कपड़े क्यों पहने थे, वहाँ
क्या
क्यों खड़ी हुई थी,
इससे
this victim
ज्यादा
shaming.
इससे ज्यादा चादर क्या लपेट के कहीं जा सकते हो? Like, come on, it's never about that. I mean, let's not think that it's the clothing that attracts such strange things for girls to go through. It's the mentality that needs to change. It's not the clothing that doesn't do anything. I mean, you shared that whole kidnapping story also, and that doesn't make it fair for people to do what they did. But anyway, we were talking about 2025. It's been a funny year. Just hoping and praying that inshallah it'll be a lighter year for everybody else. People have had losses. People have had such tragic moments in their life that to move on from that, it's not an easy thing. But we're there for everybody. Just be there for people that your loved ones. It's very important, and that's the most we really can do.
Actually, this reminds me, we're literally this week, we're going to take Aiden for Umrah.
Oh,
Because I mean, we
mashallah.
have a lot to be grateful for. I know you're going through, but we
Yeah.
have overall
Yeah.
health. We have, we have relatively safe homes. We do, and we are building, and I'm learning from everything that happened with me, making sure that that will never happen with Aiden. And we have so much to be grateful for that.
Always.
And Faris had actually sort of made a promise with God when Aiden was conceived or born. He said that we need to take Aiden to Umrah before he turns 7. So now Aiden is, alhamdulillah, inshallah, going to turn 6. So we're going to take him from Umrah. Oh, I hope he behaves. But so I'm going to be booking Umrah this week, just to sort of say thank you and just feel grateful about all the good things.
That's amazing. That's fantastic.
I have to just say one more thing. I think one of the other shocking things that I've noticed with 2025 is that I just turned on Netflix and all the Pakistani content has been wiped off these OTT platforms. I literally,
Yeah, you told me yesterday.
that listen, we had a lot of dramas. They were not original for Netflix. I know Hum is making an original Netflix series, and I hope that sees the light of
Yeah.
day. But I just was trying to find Ek Mahira Ki Raees thi because of Shah Rukh Khan, because that's an Indian film. I could not find a single Pakistani drama on Netflix. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, that's not fair.
I mean, dude, it's like, thank God we're doing this, because you got to make your own stuff. I mean, until inshallah, I hope this is a very temporary period after, I don't know, ये पहलगाम के बाद ये हुआ है, ये क्या हो रहा है. But for God's sakes, guys, we are around. We have stories to tell. We are fantastic people. Yes, there's a lot of stuff that is, wrong with Pakistan, but there's also a lot of stuff that's right and good, and not everybody represents everything. Like, what is going on? Like, trying to remove our stuff from, OTT platforms. That is.
I didn't know about that till you told me yesterday.
Please find me something. I hope I'm wrong.
I hope there's still stuff on there. But with that note, guys,
This is very
a prayer for everybody out there watching us, wishing you everything but a good your way, great health your way, and everybody safe your way as well. It's very important.
I'm going to say one positive thing from this year.
What
Because we have to end on a positive thing.
They positive.
Something that, yeah, I know, but still the one
they're
thing.
positive.
Achhi si
That's
bata.
are positive. We have great moments still. We have laughs around. We have great support system with our friends, with our family, with lighter moments, with celebrating them. Celebration is something which I really look forward to. Anyone's birthday, anyone's anniversary or something, someone coming, someone going.
Just celebrating life.
I want to celebrate life and moments and just be happy and thankful and get people together. It just makes me really happy when I see people and spend time with them. So there have been some great moments, but they get overshadowed by unfortunate things that are happening around us. There's we cannot deny this tragedy, and there are people also they're dying. They're
खाना नहीं मिल रहा, food
बहुत
trucks
अनफेयरनेस है
तक
दुनिया
पहुंच नहीं रही
में.
है.
ह्यूमैनिटी तो खत्म हो गई है, आई फील एब्सोल्युटली. बट उस सब में टू फाइंड जॉय एंड लिव योर लाइफ and be thankful for, we have a lot of things. So there's a lot of positivity, there's a lot of happiness.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, my social media is crying there's only happiness, because that's what we do. I'm just there to share happy things and be grateful for them as well. But not denying that I do realize, and he does realize, that there are other things that are also happening in the world. A lot of other things that we are not shutting our eyes. We know what's happening, and we're just trying to navigate like everybody else. That we just have to get on with it. We need to be aware what's going on, but sometimes I just feel like switching off all television and all my phone, and I don't want to know what's happening in this world, because sometimes I feel like I cannot bear another bad news. कि अब क्या हो गया, अब क्या और कहाँ मर गए लोग. But last, you tell me your highlight till now, happy moments.
I have to say that I honestly do think that this podcast has been a highlight for me as well. Honestly, the kind of people that we've now started bringing on, in these dark times, we've had some fantastic guests with amazing stories. What inspires them? What keeps them going? They're living in the same world that we are. A lot of them are South Asian. A lot of them are from Pakistan, in different fields, doing amazing things, and then learning how they cope with all the negativity around them. What do they do? And then getting to know you, learning more about ourselves. I have learned
each other
more about myself from you. I've learned more patience, less interrupting. I've learned a lot of stuff. So, and I really look forward to this. Yes, sometimes it's like, oh my god, the scheduling, ye wo vagera. But I think this is one of the highlights. Definitely. I mean, we did it.
And
at least we started it.
We pull it together, we make it happen. So and everyone's love and support, that's keeping us happening. We get a lot of people. We meet a lot of people who say lovely things.
And guys also, I love
absolutely.
that.
But it'd be always nice that you put that on the platform itself, under our messages and our comments, so we know that you are watching and where you're watching from. It's always great and encouraging for us. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.